Peters.
Levi will say, oh, now the recording is in progress. Okay, Ben, go.
Okay.
We hear nothing.
Were
you
That's
going?
it. That's all I got.
We didn't.
That's
We,
it.
We
there
didn't
was
hear it,
nothing.
Ben, try again.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta like put it up to my ear.
Wait, hold on. Just play it.
Can you hear it now?
What? Why can't
How did
hear
we
it?
not hear any of it?
You don't
Nothing.
hear that?
No.
What? It's fine.
Welcome
Okay.
to
It's
Coffee
fine.
Talk Apologetics.
Coffee, tea, and Ben.
My turn. First Peter 3:15.
You had
I
a
didn't know
whole
we're
got it
doing
right.
and you couldn't hear Ben's ukulele.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
know. Well,
pretty
it's weird
sad.
too because he played it at first and I could hear
It
it.
worked. Yeah, we could hear it.
That's weird. All right, so we're doing this one by Zoom. Probably next week is going to be by Zoom too. So this week is going to be just kind of introducing the next, and I know we've got the girls are both out this week. Nevaeh hasn't been feeling good and Selah couldn't make it. So yeah, so we're just going to kind of intro what we're going to be doing. So I do have somebody that is going to be able to come on the podcast next week and is going to kind of role play with us. So I'm not going to really tell you much about who that is because the role play is you guys using your apologetic questions to try to find stuff out about that person.
Sounds
So I'm not
fun.
even going to tell you like what religion they are or
Well, can I
anything.
know who they are though?
Nope. Next week.
Do I know them?
No.
No? Okay, cool.
No, you don't know who they are. Because that would be way too easy if you actually knew who it was. So yeah, so then and you can find out whatever, like it's just going to be about kind of practicing questions because then after that, and we can do that for either like 1 or 2 episodes just until everybody's kind of comfortable with it. So we'll probably do the next one by Zoom too because they're not close by. So obviously if somebody is close by and they can come into the podcast,
It's
and
probably
actually
your son.
no, that's a good one though.
Dang it.
That'd be a good one. He
Dang
is
it.
a man
I
of
thought it
few
was clever.
words. He'd be tough. He'd actually be a really tough apologetics person because you'd ask him a question, he'd go, yeah.
Oh, guys, guess what? Hold on.
Ooh, Levi has something.
I got my Worldview paper back. Remember that I told you that I was writing?
Oh yeah.
Got it back, and I did so good. 47 out of 50.
Oh, I was about to be scared.
Word.
Yay.
It's like 11 pages.
How many pages is it?
11.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's like single spaced too.
Yeah.
Where you didn't
Yeah,
do like
and
the dump.
I had to fill out all of these over all the different worldviews, front and back. And it's the 8 questions that I talked about. What is the prime reality, the really real? What is the nature of external reality? That is the world around us. What is a human being? What happens to a person at death? Blah, 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 blah. So I did that for every single worldview. So I should be ready for next week.
Yeah, you're going to be totally ready. You are
feeling
going to be
good.
our like worldview expert. You're like, I know that worldview. And you have your questions already too.
Right.
So
Right.
you are going to be crushing it.
Game time.
That's awesome. And then the other one, so that's in kind of preparing to, because you have to interview 2 different people or 3 different people?
Just one person, actually.
Oh, just
But
one person.
There's 3
But
different worldviews that you can do.
okay. Which ones?
Hold on, I have the paper somewhere. Let me look at my Chromebook. It's like Roman Catholic,
Okay.
Muslim, and then hold on, give me 1 second.
Those are two of the people that I've talked to about doing it.
Well, that'd be
And both
perfect.
are local. And that is not the person that's coming on next week. Next week is just a person that it's going to help me test and, like role play.
Okay, awesome. Hold on, I'm trying to find this. Hold on. Sorry, bear with me.
And the other one that I'm kind of trying to talk to about coming on will probably be the last one that we do, because I think it's going to be the most challenging, but it is someone who considers themselves a Wiccan.
Oh, wow. Oh, is it by chance the person that was in church the other day?
No.
Oh.
Do we have a Wiccan at the church?
Remember that whole story? Wasn't that person a Wiccan?
I don't know.
Where they did like a whole like 3-minute thing on it, and like she like got saved at like a bonfire that we did, and she
Oh,
like
yeah. No, it's not her.
was she a Wiccan though?
I thought she said she was, I mean, I guess it's probably fairly similar. Like a nature.
Oh, like a naturalist?
Yeah, I think that's more of like a materialist than
They
it is a
believe in the
Wiccan.
sun.
That's like
Okay, I
raw.
couldn't find the thing that it was, but I think it's Muslims, Roman Catholics, and then existentialists, maybe? Hold on.
Okay. Or like a nihilist. Oh, a nihilist would be interesting too.
Yeah, that's okay. So the worldview paper that I wrote on was theism, deism, naturalism, nihilism, existentialism, Eastern pantheism, monism,
Okay.
New Age, postmodernism, and Islam. So it's 3 of those that you can do, I think.
Oh, I have an
Hi.
interesting person that I could talk to about New Age, but they're no longer New Age.
Hmm.
But that would be an interesting one. I can
Yeah.
reach out to her.
Yeah, that'd be
She'd have
fun.
to, she's not in Michigan though, so we'd have to do that one by Zoom
Another
too.
Zoom. Okay. Wow.
But that'd be kind of cool. We could do a couple in person. Well, the Roman Catholic, it's a practicing Roman Catholic, and the Muslim are both local. So they
Okay.
would be actually able to come in.
That would be so perfect.
Yeah, it'd be cool. And then we would just do, because it's like an hour, right?
That's what they say it usually takes, but I just have to go through a list of stuff.
Yeah. So we would kind of like just let you kind of take the
Yeah, that'd be
lead
perfect.
with that.
Yeah.
And
And it'd be so nice to have it all recorded and everything, so I could go back through it.
yeah. And we might actually want to do at least the one that you're doing for class on a Zoom like this, because it's
Yeah.
just going to record really nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So we can do maybe like our practice ones, with the next one we'll do by Zoom. And then maybe the Roman Catholic and the Muslim in person, or which one, whichever one you want to do. For the class we can do by Zoom too, just because it's going to make it so much nicer too.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen you guys in like forever. Well,
Yeah,
other
it's
than
been a
I saw
long
you
time.
at church.
Yeah,
We
but
had a
the
Oh,
busy
you
week.
the other day.
the spring break
Yeah.
couple
I didn't.
weeks made it feel extra long.
The spring break did. And then you've got all wedding-y stuff going on.
Yeah, weddings, stuff, and then also golf season.
Oh
all
yeah,
on top of each other.
golf season.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Ben? I know you've been just practicing I still can't hear the ukulele. Did you just play it? Or I feel like he's
Yeah.
pretending.
He's just totally messing with us.
He is. Is that what gaslighting is? I still don't know
Yeah,
what that term is.
gaslighting is like if I told you that I'd pay you back $5 and you gave me $5, and then when you asked me for your $5 back, I'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like you
like,
never gave me $5.
I don't even know what $5 is.
Yeah,
So when Ben is pretending to play the ukulele, he's totally gaslighting us.
He's gaslighting you into thinking that he's playing the ukulele.
You can't hear that?
No, it's like so delayed and then it's so quiet at the same time.
Yeah, no, we really can't. We really can't hear
Man.
it.
But I'm just hanging out, doing school, living life,
You're a
working.
good man.
Working,
I'm
doing
still
some.
trying to find that list of worldviews that you can do. I don't know why.
Well, what are some of the questions that you answered on that one?
Hold on.
Because you have
kinda
that on the
hungry.
paper, right? I want to hear some of the questions that you had.
Yeah. So for nihilism, I would ask, what is the prime reality, the really real? And they would say that matter is all that there is. Then I would ask him, what is the nature of external reality? That is the world around us. And then it says the cosmos operates with a uniformity of cause and effect in a closed system. And then it says that human beings are a part of that system. Then I'd ask him what a human being is. And then they'd say complex machines whose personality is a function of highly complex chemical and physical properties that we do not yet understand.
So did you guys see anything on that topic? Oh, what is his name? He's like the most famous atheist, I think. He's definitely the atheist that has debated the most. Richard Dawkins?
Darwin?
No, Dawkins.
Darwin?
Dawkins is an evolutionist, an
Same vibes.
evolutionary biologist. Actually, Richard Dawkins might be but I think it's Richard. Isn't that right? Richard Dawkins?
I think
That's where
so.
I think that's right.
I've
And he
probably seen him before.
And he just recently, did you guys see anything on this? Do you know what I'm talking about at all?
No idea.
So Richard Dawkins has like debated, I'm pretty sure, I'm looking up, but I'm pretty sure that's his name. I don't think now that you say
you're right.
Darwin, now I'm thinking like my brain is going, which is possible.
It's Richard Dawkins. He's a British evolutionary biologist.
He is an evolutionary biologist, but he is like the most famous, like I think he's the most famous atheist. And just recently, I wonder if they have it already up. So just recently, he talked about cultural Christianity.
Yeah, I see that.
Do you see that? Okay,
One
so
of the so-called four horsemen or whatever.
Yes, he is one of the four horsemen. So he is an atheist that has, typically in the past said things like, we're just basically meat puppets. We're, we're machines and we operate on our biology and he's been extremely critical of Christianity. But now he's calling himself, I think this was like a couple days ago, right?
A cultural Christian.
A cultural Christian. So get this. Yeah, let me see if I can pull it. Do you have it pulled up?
Yeah. He says, I call myself a cultural Christian. I'm not a believer, but there's a distinction between being a believing Christian and being a cultural Christian. I love hymns and Christmas carols, and I sort of feel at home in the Christian ethos. We in the UK are a Christian country in that sense. If I had to choose between Christianity and Islam, I choose Christianity every single time. It seems to me to be a fundamentally decent religion in a way that I think Islam is not.
Right. So here's what's interesting, and I think this is an interesting. I thought that this was very interesting for him to say, because how is he deciding on what's decent and what's not? Like, what is his moral basis for good? Because if we're all just meat puppets and we're all just doing things to, like, he basically says we're just trying to put our genes into the future. That's basically the whole, there's really no purpose. It's just getting your genes forward. But he seems in this one to be saying that there is a decency. Like, how are you measuring what is decent? Like, that does not, I don't see how that comports with his worldview. I'd be so interested to hear how it just seems to be flying in the face of itself.
Right.
Because how can you say one thing's decent if we're all just genetically just trying to get our genes into the future? Well,
right.
I bet that there are plenty of ways to get our genes into the future that are not decent.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really interesting.
Fundamentally decent. So
that's weird. What he said. And what's funny is he actually talks a lot about, because I was listening to some of this, he was talking a lot about how, like, because he's talked in the past about how how he thinks that there's a problem with how women are viewed in Christianity. And he obviously has he's also talked about the problem that he has with Islam and its treatment of women. But I'm so curious as to how he measures. My question for him would be a very simple one. It would be, so what?
Right.
Like, so what? Like, we're just, who cares? If all we are is meat puppets, how do you measure good or bad?
Yeah.
And who decides, like, does Richard Dawkins decide what's decent?
Yeah. He said he likes Christmas carols and hymns. It's like, what?
I know. I think it's so interesting. And I think he's the most, I think he's the atheist who has debated the most,
Mhm.
for sure. Of the four of what's considered like the four horsemen. Because I don't even know, did it list who the other four horsemen are? I know
Yeah.
I've recognized the names, but I don't think they're as nearly as commonly known.
Hold on. Um, it's just saying conquest, war, hunger, and death. I'm trying to find it.
That's biblical four horsemen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Oh, now I'm getting professional wrestling.
Oh. That's a completely different. So I think that would be, so yeah, that's an interesting one. Oh, Ben's gone.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, I
Ben's
got it now.
back.
Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens, Daniel Dennett, and Sam Harris.
I've definitely heard of the second guy, but
Mhm.
I think he's probably debated, but probably not as nearly as much as Dawkins.
Mhm.
And Harris, I think that Sam Harris sounds familiar too. Yeah, so Richard Dawkins, I mean, he wrote, let's see, The Selfish Gene, 1976, The Blind Watchmaker, 1986, and The God Delusion,
Yeah.
in 2006.
Sam Harris has a podcast called Making Sense, which I've heard of.
Oh, I've
You
not
ever heard of
heard.
Making Sense?
I have not heard of that one. So this would be an interesting one. That would be an interesting one for us to kind of do one of our podcasts on as well.
Yeah.
Is maybe taking a little bit closer look at the worldview of the four horsemen
Mhm.
here. I thought that was really interesting when it came up a couple days ago that he said that he was a cultural
Cultural
Christian.
Christian.
I just see a lot of contradictions within that,
Mhm.
what he's
I mean,
saying.
as I mean, an atheist, can you even make sense? I mean, it's like, can you really trust your mind though? After evolutionary processes, right? You came from an animal. How can you truly know if you're making sense in your mind? Right?
Well, and why would you trust it?
Right?
Mhm.
And what makes your, like, if my, if he's making the distinction between Christianity and Islam, what if somebody else's brain, which obviously would be the case, is saying, "Oh no, not Christianity, Islam." So what makes Richard Dawkins' view any more worthwhile than any other
Mhm.
meat puppet?
Right.
Like to me, I don't know. I found that such an interesting um comment from him. I
Mhm.
really hope that he goes and debates somebody on that,
Yeah.
because that would be super interesting. I think have you ever heard of Dr. James White?
I love that dude. He's
Do
my,
you?
I love that guy. Yeah.
I've
He's
never
a
heard of him.
so he's a lead pastor at Apologia Church out in Arizona.
Yeah.
And he has a podcast too. I think it's called Alpha and Omega, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, and well, I listened to the Apologia radio, and that's the other pastor, one of the other pastors that's,
Durban.
yeah, Jeff Durbin. He was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
What? No way.
We talked about this before. We talked about it.
Now, they're both, pretty staunch Calvinists.
Mhm.
Yeah. They're pretty hardcore. I've
pretty
watched like
hardcore.
their like debates.
Yeah. Well, James
Like
White, I think, is the
debate.
most prolific Christian debater. I know he's debated Dawkins. He actually just recently did a debate. He does so many.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. James White he's pretty awesome. I really enjoy listening to him, but I know he's debated Dawkins, so maybe we'll do that as our topic.
What's that? Oh, one gay progressive dude that's on TikTok.
I don't have
He
TikTok.
like
Wait,
well
who'd you
like
say?
he like uh Mike Winger's done like videos on him. He's like a gay Christian. Oh, what's his name?
Did
Oh,
James White debate him or something? Oh, did Durbin have him
yeah,
on?
Durbin and James White.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
You
I
said
don't
he's a
remember
gay
his name
Christian?
though. Yeah, I think he's like a pastor of a
Um,
of a
he's a
church.
pastor. Yeah,
Yeah,
Brandon Robertson. That's his
Brandon
name.
Robertson. Yeah, they did kind of like a back. I don't know if he had him. No, he did. Durbin had him on Apologia Radio.
Yeah, well, they
Yeah,
both did. It
yeah,
was dual.
yeah,
Oh, I've seen this
That's
guy.
a really good debate. That's a really good debate.
yeah. We'll have to do some of that too. So we'll leave that
I've seen that guy.
for the next one because I think we have like, let's see, what is my time counter on? We have like a minute and a half left
Okay.
before this ends. That's the other thing with this one. Because I think
It
we had
ends.
yeah.
Oh no, that's
Oh
scary.
no. Oh no. I
We've really
know.
got nothing done. We just kind of been talking.
We
Yeah.
have. Well, that's what this one was, is just kind of setting up the next one and talking about some of the new I guess kind of the series that we're going into, which is we're going to actually be talking to people that are not us.
Oh,
Mhm.
it doesn't give us like a time limit. It only says less than a minute.
It does say less than a minute. Does it say less than a minute on yours?
So it's
So it's like,
48 seconds.
is
Yeah.
it just gonna
47.
like end?
Oh,
We
Yeah,
should just
it's
go
fine.
until it just cuts us off.
Just
We're like mid-sentence. And that'll be our that'll be the screenshot of us all like,
Perfect.
have you ever done, I've done that before on a Zoom where I just like froze.
Uh-huh. We all knew what to do.
I know. That was pretty good. We all stayed pretty frozen, so that
Yeah,
was
that was
pretty
hey,
good.
impressive.
hey. Good night, y'all. Good night.
Good night.
It's been a
Good
pleasure.
night, Ben. It's been fun.
It's
Good
been
night.
fun.
I
It's
love
I'm
been
it.
going to
real.
bed.
Man.
And next
Man.
week, Zoom too.
I'm gonna I'm gonna head out.
Ben's
I'm
out.
gonna head out.